Good evening. This is Rahul Magan here as a Group Chief Executive Officer, Treasury Consulting, and also a venture capitalist. I started my career in 2007 with IT companies. I started with the largest IT company of the North, which is SCL Technologies. Followed by I spared around 7.5 years with EXL, which is an American company. In the last, basically from 2007 till 2016, around 9.5 years, I spared, which was my corporate life with IT companies. And I saw IT companies very closely in India. You know, when I joined in 2007, I used to believe that Indian IT companies are super great in the sense like they are having very exceptional business model. But after a few years, this theory was completely outdated and now it is imminent. In this video, I would be covering my outlook towards Indian IT sector, which I did many times and I keep doing many times. On paper, India claimed to be an IT nation. Whether this is SCL Technologies, this is, Wipro, this is Tech Mahindra, this is Infosys, Tata Consultancy Services, or any other IT company, they are not less than 35 to 40 years old IT company. But Indian IT sector is not dominated by Indian IT companies. It is dominated by foreign IT companies like Capgemini, Cognizant, Sapient, and other IT companies. But the compromised media of India, because we all know that the corruption level in the Indian media. So I always clarify that when I use Indian media, I always use business media. Because I never speak about politics. Politics is something which I always hate since the beginning of my career. Whenever I say media, I speak about the business media. So I don't speak about political media, let it be honest. Indian business media is so compromised that they do not want to talk about the international IT companies. But this whole structure is about to collapse. How? I tell you in this video. Of course, I can't cover everything in this video, but whatever I can cover, I will definitely try. The problem here is that 58% of the revenue of Indian IT or ITES, which is Information Technology Enabled Services, is coming from the US. Rest, near about 28% to 30% is coming from Europe. And out of 30%, around 25 to 30% is coming from England. Rest is coming from Denmark, Sweden, Germany, Italy, and different European Union nations. US is losing. Like we know that Tesla is cutting 10% jobs. JP Morgan Chase, Dimon, although I never appreciate him, but this is the first time in the life he said that we are going to be facing the hurricane, which is right. Goldman Sachs also warned the investors that you would be facing the hurricane, which is also right. Facebook already freezed the hiring, and many American companies have freezed the hiring. Now, there is another problem which is coming for Indian IT companies, which they do not want it to recognize. And thanks to the compromised media of India, this will never get recognized, which is that the dollar is shrinking. So on paper, dollar is very strong, but reality, dollar is shrinking. Let's take the live example of Ukraine-Russia war. I made it very clear many times that this war having two factors. One is the finance factor and one is the humanitarian factor. Now, when it comes to humanitarian factor, I am completely against Russia since inception and would continue to be against Russia even after the war. But when it comes to the finance angle, the things are completely different. So let's cover the finance angle. When this war started, Russian ruble reached 120. Many platforms of the globe stopped the clients of having additional positions in the Russian ruble, because they were suspecting that Russian ruble might go 200. In fact, several Einstein, Edisons and Newtons in the globe also warned people that Russian ruble might be going 200. But I was like, what the hell? Because Russia is the largest oil player in the world, natural gas player in the world. So how come this will go 200? Anyways, now as we speak, Russian ruble is back to where it was before the war. Now it is around 66 to 67. It is the same price which was there before the war. Now, one thing which is really very clear is that Russia is trying very hard to replace US dollar and euro. More than 20 European Union nations already agreed to buy the gas in rubles. But thanks to the international media, which is also compromised, including Bloomberg, they never reflected that. The Sovereign Financial Network, which is also known as SFN of Russia, is doing wonderful. It is processing payments without having US dollars. Chinese yuan to Russian ruble pair, which is called CNY to RMB to Russian RUB pair, this pair already doing fantastic, let it be honest. Why it is doing fantastic? Because this pair now is over 1000% jump in the last few weeks. And guys, Bloomberg not yet covered this. Why Bloomberg not covered this? Because common sense, White House not allowed Bloomberg to cover this. Dollar value as a global FX reserve, which used to be 76% few years ago, now it is near to 58%. Very recently, International Monetary Fund also warned that sooner or later, US dollar composition in FX reserves will come down. GBP is at 1.25, which used to be 1.40. Euro, which used to be 1.22, now almost 1.07. So technically speaking, the receivable which Indian IT companies is getting in foreign currencies, which includes US dollar, GBP, Euro, this receivable is falling. The value of this receivable is falling. Example, I was getting 100 GBP from my customer Goldman Sachs. Example, when Euro was 1.32, then this 100 GBP used to value 132 US dollars. Precisely. Now the same GBP is value 124 US dollars, which means I am doing the work. My cost is growing because of inflation. You agree? Inflation is increasing worldwide. And this is the reason why central banks are forced to increase the rates. So Indian IT companies also have to match that. They can't run away. How are they going to be matching that? They need to increase the appraisal. But they can't increase the appraisal because the value of their receivable is falling. But thanks to the compromised media, no one is covering that phenomenon. No one is covering that phenomenon. I have heard from many friends, without quoting any specific IT company name, that own the name of appraisal, which is called PIP, Performance Improvement Plan, they are cutting the jobs. So I'm not quoting any specific name here. Now this is a clear reflection that in another few years, when the depression would continue, US would face higher interest rate, a huge poverty in the US, the businesses will come down. In this regards, we will see that the value of dollar will come down. And this would trigger, I repeat, this would trigger the fall in the Indian IT companies, which is already evident, just like Tech Mahindra, which is used to be 1800 per share, is now 1150. Infosys, which was hyped at 1800, now 1500. SCL Technologies is 1200. This Happiest Mind, which was hyped like, oh my God, is below 1000. Newgen and all IT companies, you name any IT company, all IT company share prices are falling. And if you're thinking it is the dip, then please wait for some time. You will see a very good news. Because recession, according to media, but to me, depression has just started. I will see a substantial fall in Indian IT companies. So when I use Indian IT companies, I don't not mean their share price. I mean as a whole company, as a whole sector. I see a substantial fall in the Indian IT sector. A massive job cuts, a huge cost cutting, and last but not the least, a fall in the value of receivables. At least from an angle of investing, I personally watching each and every action of Indian IT companies. Tech Mahindra was hyped to 1800 per share. 1800 per share. And people bought. And I was like, what the hell? What the hell? 1800 per share. Now see yourself, 1150. More coverage would come over the period of the time. Because to me, like, views, count, dislike, subscribers, these all are immaterial things. I believe in knowledge, simple, which I continue to share. This is Rahul Magan from Teshi Consulting Group. You know my personal number, 9899242978, 9899242978.